We're going to change this for a couple minutes, okay?
Okay.
And we're going to go in and we're going to make you into a rock star or a movie star or whatever you want to call it. And at the same time, we're going to show you that you probably know your business world better than your personal. So, I'm going to ask you questions. You get to answer them.
You do see that I'm wearing leather.
I do.
We're giving away a Harley Davidson here, so I'm trying to do my best to look like a rock star.
That's right. So now, and we're going to try to film you afterwards on the Harley. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I always said if you're going to get fired for something, go out big.
If you got to go, you got to go. Okay. So first, what's your favorite movie?
Superman.
Which one?
Favorite movie is Superman. Second favorite movie is Superman 2.
My 6-year-old will love you for that.
And it's not because of the comic character. It's actually just someone coming from a different place and growing up in a different way and knowing you can score 10 touchdowns and you're the water boy. It's a degree of humbleness that a great Canadian band sang the Superman song, the Crash Test Dummies.
Oh yes.
And if you know the words to that song, it's probably why I like the movie.
He never had it. What was it? Superman.
Are you going to start singing it? You're the rock star.
I'm trying to think of how it went.
He could break into any bank in the United States.
Yeah. He never had any money. That's what it is. That's right. So, further down on the list, but we'll jump right to it. Gee, this could be a hard one. Who's your favorite superhero?
Wow, probably Superman, I guess.
No, you know it's a Canadian story.
I do know that backstory, and I probably have to go read it again. But
I bet none of you knew that out there, and it was the Toronto Star. That's where he went to work. Anyway,
Superman and Winnie the Pooh, the two biggest things Canada brought to entertainment.
We brought in Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, Winnipeg.
I didn't know that.
Winnie is Winnipeg.
Unbelievable. Gee.
We educate here, you learn here, it's amazing.
This is the most important thing I've learned in all of the Breakaway, and it's been a good show. But this capped it off. Who's your favorite hero? Villain.
Who's my favorite villain? Oh, probably the Joker, played by Heath Ledger.
Yeah, too bad about what happened, eh? Yeah. I would have loved to see the next one.
I'm glad that they chose not to recast the Joker. I think they've shelved the Joker now, which is a great tribute.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Good for them. Okay, so what's your favorite actor's name?
Tom Cruise.
Favorite actress?
That's a good question. Probably Julia Roberts.
That's my. You got one of
it's kind of the pretty woman thing, I think.
She just has the best smile of anybody.
Yeah. Probably the Tom Cruise from Top Gun, where he rode that motorcycle, and that's probably why we're giving away a Harley today. It all probably interconnects. It's probably a lifelong story.
So let me get this straight. You want to ride on the motorcycle because you want to become Tom Cruise?
Pretty much. He wore those aviators. He put on the leather bomber jacket. You remember when he rode right in front of the jet? That's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to see if the film crew here can make that happen.
We gotta love it. What's your favorite sport to play?
Hockey, 2 times a week.
Oh, I told you I already beat you on that one. A whole lot. But when I get to your age, I'll slow down. No comment on that one, eh? What's your favorite sport to watch?
Favorite sport to watch? Actually, I'm pretty diverse. I only watch sports when it's the finals. I think I watch 12 different sports, but I'll watch Wimbledon, I'll watch the Masters, I'll watch the Stanley Cup final. You'll never find me watch any sport during the regular season.
Interesting, because I basically watch no sports, and even with all the hockey I play, people are always like, what do you mean you don't want to go to a game? I go, well, I'd rather go out and play hockey than do it.
For me, it was always part of the community. If you're asked the next day at the water fountain, about the big New Orleans Saints game last night, and you don't have an answer, it was just being part of the conversation. It was kind of pulp culture more than anything.
And I've looked at it the other way. If somebody goes to all this effort to show you the whole hockey game in 30 seconds, and you get to see the 3 best plays of the game, why would I want to waste all that time just watching?
Good point.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food is a shish kebab.
Interesting. Favorite drink?
Is this online dating? Like this seems like is this speed dating here, really?
It's sort of.
Okay, good.
We'll go on after.
Favorite drink? I don't drink alcohol, so probably growing up was a Slurpee.
A what?
Slurpee, 7-Eleven.
Oh, yes.
Max, slushy.
What's your favorite IT gadget?
This is, I guess I have to do a Lenovo answer. I'm a pervasive, I do a lot of keynoting on pervasive devices. I've got this concept in blogs that people are going to own 100 devices within 5 years. I actually have a very varied interest in terms of every device that you own, it's in your house today that gets electricity or battery power, will become internet enabled. I spent 30 minutes last month at an ASCII conference. In my whole keynote, I talked about a Wi-Fi enabled toothbrush. And whether or not that comes to market or not, there are some very, very unique ideas that are coming. Many of them coming from Lenovo, others that 5 years from now, you're not going to recognize your house or business.
So are you a gadget type guy? It sounds like it.
I'm a huge gadget guy, yes.
And now we'll come back to this age thing. I'm really thrilled about the fact that I know how to turn my BlackBerry on and off. And next I'm going to learn how to actually answer if the phone rings.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, it's been ringing. I just don't pick it up. Except nobody's shown me that part.
Right.
Who's your favorite CEO in the IT industry?
Yang Ching Yang from Lenovo.
Yeah?
Yep. As a 26-year-old, took over which at the time was a white box builder in China, dedicated the whole entire organization to the channel, made sure all the direct reps transitioned to channel reps, opened up 6,000 outlets, and today is recognized as a mix between Best Buy and Apple in China. 45% market share, and an absolute brilliant story of bringing technology to, at the time, really a third world country, and enabling China perhaps to become the powerhouse it is today. I think it's a wonderful story.
It's interesting because it's a story that we don't hear. Nobody talks about it on this side of the world. It's like
he's on the covers of magazines and the Fortune and Forbes equivalents in China. Really looked at as almost a Bill Gates of China to those people. But we don't get the same press over here. And it's a little bit too bad, but it's just a wonderful story. And there's a couple books that have been written about it.
And you know what? I'm going to have to plead that I really don't know much about him. I never even really thought much about it.
Yep.
I was surprised when they bought the PC division from IBM.
Well, I'll give you two anecdotes that are maybe back to the BMW one again, that maybe people don't know, and they probably don't. One is that early in his career, he was in a scanning division, which was a very small division of, at the time, Legend Holdings. And he created a relationship with a vendor to resell their scanners. And to us in America, this is not a big thing, but in China, the word reseller, the word VAR, the middleman, any of that concept didn't even exist. There wasn't a Chinese character for what the agreement that he struck. The scanning division grew exponentially, and again, as a mid-24, 25-year-old, was chosen to move over to the PC division and do the same thing. So they were reselling IBM at the time, reselling Compaq, but these big global firms refused to customize for his country. So things like electricity were more important at the time, and this would be in the 80s, 1984, 1985. Electricity was more expensive than any other part of the equation. So when he went to IBM and others to customize, when they didn't, he chose to start building some of his own devices that perhaps had a big electricity dial on the front. Something about China, most of the towns, as they got electricity for the first time, didn't have any phone. There was no cables run anywhere. Mm-hmm. So, in the early 90s was the only company to have voice over IP integrated in the desktop, where you had a handheld set on top of the desktop that was voice over IP driven. Not because voice over IP was cool or leading edge, because there was no standard telephone system. So two of these ideas, which were really customizations for Legend's own market, gave the customers of China an affinity with Legend at the time, Lenovo now, that they cared about the market and they made the innovation necessary. And they were thought of, just like IBM at the time, as innovating in the computer industry. And when we came together as Lenovo and IBM into Lenovo, we had the exact same culture. We didn't have any products that competed. They were very big in consumer, we were big in business. And we didn't have any people that conflicted. So all of us, and myself included, came over to Lenovo from IBM, and they had the big team in China. And it was one of the only mergers in the technology industry where there wasn't products that collided, there wasn't programs or people or anything that collided. So the day after, so May 1st of 2005, we got to work hitting the ground running and working with our channel partners and executing, not spending time trying to figure out if you're going to have a job in 30 days. It's a very interesting merger.
And you know, live and learn. You know, before I was joking about learning something here about winning, although I did, that was for real. That's really interesting. Let's go back to your favorites for a couple minutes.
Okay.
So we got the foods and all that done. Real quickly, what's your favorite charity?
I've got several. I've sat on the board of Junior Achievement. I've been on the board of United Way. Currently I'm involved in a charity in Raleigh called Models for Charity, which is a really kind of interesting group of models or ex-models, professionals within the community, local community, that donate their time as models for charity events, driving more incremental funding, driving more investment. And then if they get any contracts on their own to be in a calendar and to be in a magazine or something like that, they pay back 25% of everything they make to charity. And it's just one of these, the United Way and Junior Achievement are national and very important in scope. But this was started by a local lawyer, Michelle Congleton, that saw an opportunity and spent the extra hours at night creating something different. And it's this localization concept that's out now, is everyone can make a difference. And charity starts at home. And I'm impressed to be.
I do something similar to that in Toronto, where we get NHLers to come out for charity events.
Good.
And people love it because they get to play with their favorite NHLers. And
I thought you were going to say you were a model, and I was going to say, well, that's fantastic. I was going to look for.
Isn't that obvious?
If you could tell me the calendar or whatever that you've been in, that's great.
Yeah, it's called famous models.
Has anyone ever said you look like Guy Lafleur?
I hope not.
No, you got kind of Guy Lafleur.
I don't have that hair.
When he was younger, number 10 coming down the right wing.
Nah, sorry, not this week. And last question: family activities. What's your favorite thing to do?
I've got a lot of varied activities. After seeing the Bucket List movie, which is another one I like, I decided to go see 100 countries. And that was a few years ago, so I'm up to 30 so far. Every 6 months, I spin the globe, stop my finger somewhere, and book a flight.
So that doesn't include business travel?
Does not include business travel. So 30 personal vacations to different countries. I love being on the water. I love playing sports. I try to stay outside of the TV as much as I can. And being a technical guy, I like to play with gadgets and poke around. I'm a programmer from days gone by, so you'll spend, I'll be at 3 in the morning trying something out, in the dark computer room.
Anyway, we're getting dangerously close to when you have to get on that motorcycle. So
Okay.
On that note, for everybody who's listening, I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm coming down because I want to see this.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.